Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're in the second part of a four-part series where Casey is showing us how to create road corridors, and in this second part we're going to learn how to do the vertical alignment. So let's look.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be continuing on our corridor series. So where we left off, we had already created our horizontal alignments as well as our existing surface profiles. So we've got our profiles down here separated in our little table. So we've got three alignments for three different roads. We've got this entrance road, we've got this road all the way in the back of the site, and we've got this center road. All right, and then what we're going to want to do after we've created our existing profiles using our horizontal alignments is to create our vertical alignments. So in this plan, we've already had a conceptual grading plan done, as you can see here by all of these spot elevations, right, which kind of lay out a rough elevation of where we want the site to be. All right, we're going to use this conceptual grading plan to draw our vertical alignment. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to want to essentially translate these spots onto our existing profile so that we can use it as reference when building our vertical alignment. So I'm going to go ahead and change our annotation scale back up to 1 to 60 so that I can see the stations, right? And then we're going to be able to find our elevation essentially and at what station the elevation is going to be located. So we've got 828 at 2 plus 50, and then we've got 840 at about 4 plus 75. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these guys. So 2 plus 50 and 4 plus 75. I'm going to change the scale back just so I can see. We're working in this alignment here. Okay, so at 2 plus 50, we've got the elevation 828. So I'm just going to leave this right here, right? And then at 4 plus 75, roughly, we've got 840. So I'm going to leave that guy there. Okay, we're just going to continue to do the same thing sort of all the way up. So I'm going to go ahead and change our scale again, which is going to get super tedious, but that's kind of the only way that you can declutter your screen when looking at the profile, and then repopulate these labels to a size in which they're clearly visible. So at about 5 plus 50, we've got 850, and at about 6 plus 50, we've got 860. So I'm going to copy these guys, same deal here. We're going to come down here. Okay, and at 5 plus 50, we had 850. And at 6 plus 50, we had 860. So our conceptual grading plan is done pretty roughly. And that's kind of the same concept that we're going here when we're putting these elevations here on the profile. So, you know, this 860 isn't exactly at 6 plus 50. It's a little bit farther up, which is, you know, perfectly fine because you have to keep in mind what the intent of the road corridor is, right? So there's a certain slope which we don't want to exceed for the road. So if by putting our 860 on our profile exactly at 6 plus 50 and then this slope becomes too steep, we'll be able to see that the slope is too steep and then, you know, drag and pull. Essentially what we're doing is taking our conceptual grading plan, translating it to the profile so that when we draw our vertical alignment, it's going to be very close to what we intended with our conceptual grading plan. All right, so at about 8, we've got 866, and then at about 10, we've got 870. So this is at 8 and 10. Same deal here. At 8 and 10. Okay, and then at about 11:25, we've got 880, and then at about 12:25, we've got 890. So 11:25 and 12:25, roughly. 11:25 and 12:25. Okay, and then all the way up to the end, we've got at about 12 plus 70 or so, we've got 894, and there's an 898, which is going to be a little bit farther past the length of our alignment. So at 1270 or so. And then this guy's going to be a little bit farther past down here. Okay. And our cul-de-sac is, what's more going to be about here. And then our cul-de-sac is, you know, kind of further along the length of the profile that's not being displayed because of the length of our alignment. All right, and now we're going to be able to do is I'm just going to kind of translate these up vertically. So 840 is roughly right here, and then 850 right here, 860 right here. So these are in 5-foot intervals actually, so I'm just going to go and translate. This is actually the 850, and then this is actually the 860. Okay, and then the 866 is going to be right about here. 870 is going to be right about here. And then 880, right about there. 890. It's going to be right about, there's the 80, 85, 90. 94 is going to be just below the 95, right about there. Okay, and then 898 is going to be right here. Okay, so now we've got these conceptual spot elevations translated on our profile. We could go ahead and draw our vertical alignment. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to click on the profile itself, and then we're going to want to create a new profile. To create a new profile, we're going to need to select our profile view. So we're going to go ahead and select our profile view here. Okay, and then we're going to hit profile creation tools, and this is going to open up this create new profile menu. We can go ahead and name our profile. We'll just name it Entrance Road PG, and then we're going to use the CBLX design profile style, and then it's going to stay on the 0 layer. And then our label set, we're just going to leave it standard for now. We'll go ahead and press OK, and this is going to open up our profile layout tools. So we're going to use the profile layout tools to draw our new vertical alignment. So we're going to start with using the insert PVI command, which is this guy right here. We'll go ahead and click. And then we're just going to use these existing, so before I do that, we're just going to use the existing elevations that we grab from our conceptual grading plan and use them to draw our vertical alignment. So I'm going to get a little bit some more accurate spots that were left on this conceptual grading plan from the entrance. So I'm going to grab some of these guys. So we've got 24 at our 0, and then we've got 25, 26, 28. So the 26, 28 are around 2. So I'm just going to copy these guys over. We're going to go back down to our profile here. Okay, so we've got 26, 28 are about equally spaced from the 2. So there's the 2, there's the 1. So the 26 looks like it's at about 1 plus 75, and then the 28 at 2 plus 25. So we're just going to go do 26 at 1 plus 75 roughly. So that's going to be right about there. And then the 28 is going to be at about a roughly, 2 plus 25, which is going to be right in here. So the 28 is going to be right in there. 26, 1 plus 75, which is closer right here. There's the 26. This 828 needs to be where it should be, which is right along this line here. Right there. It's also 28 around here. Okay. All right, and then the 24 and 25, let's just go double check again. 24 and 25. 24 is right in front of the 0, and then the 25 is about halfway between the 1 and the 1 plus 50. So 25 is at about 1 plus 25. So 1 plus 50, 1 plus 25, right about there. And then 24 here looks to be roughly in this ballpark. Okay, so now we're going to use our profile layout tools to draw our vertical alignment. We're going to do this with the insert PVI command. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. We're going to start at existing grade here, which is going to be the endpoint here. And we're just going to follow, I'm going to go ahead and turn these snaps off. We're going to follow these conceptual spots that we translated from our grading plan. And we're just going to go ahead and click on each of them to insert a PVI at each one of their points. And we're just going to continue to follow them all the way up as such. Okay, we can go ahead and hit enter. Okay, and now we've got our new profile created, and as you can see, it displays slopes here, so we can just go ahead and take a look at some of the slopes. So some of the steeper spots, we've got 13.8% here. That's probably going to be a little bit steep, so we're probably going to end up changing this. 9.74, it's just under 10. Typically, that's fine. 8.49 all the way up here, up to 9.82, 8.32, 6.12. So we kind of flatten out here where we're going to want to have our intersection. So we're just going to go look on our plan view again. Right here we have this 870 and 866. We flatten out across this area for the mail kiosk, and then our intersection going down to the center road here. And then it's going to go ahead and get steeper again. So we're typically going to use this tool. We're going to use the command free vertical curve parabola. So you can go ahead and select this drop-down menu here. It's going to have this fixed vertical curve tool as the default set, but you're going to go ahead and scroll down and select free vertical curve parabola. Okay, and you're going to be able to select your first entity and then your second entity, right? And then you can go ahead and specify the K value or the radius of the curve itself. So typically we design things using the K value. So we'll just set a K value of say 20 for the time being, and then we'll hit enter. So that solution is not going to be available, so maybe we'll up our K value. That's not going to work either. So maybe we'll go down to a K value of 10, right? And then as you can see, it's going to generate this curve here for us. And we can repeat that step at all other PVIs later on down the line. Right, and the reason we do that is obviously there's going to be curvature in the road when changing in elevations. The road's not going to go from 5.3% slope to 13.8% slope instantaneously. So we're going to have to add a curve at each one of these points, and then it's going to go ahead and it's going to generate this little label for you. Right? And then once you've added in all your curves along the length of your vertical alignment is then complete and ready, and then you'll be ready to move on in creating your cross-section assembly.